months ago. Well, I had fixed it, and like, I don't hear anything with the timing chain or anything.
Okay.
So it told me to change the solenoid. Well, I changed both of the solenoids, and then it came back on that I needed to change the crankshaft sensor. So I did that, and I changed mainly all of the sensors that has to do with the timing. So then, all of a sudden, I don't even know if that problem might be fixed. I don't know. But what happens is when I start my car in the morning when I go out to go to work, I start it up. It goes to about 2,000 RPM, like it usually is supposed to. You know, they all do that. And then it as it drops in the RPM, it acts like it wants to die, but it'll catch itself. And I noticed this morning that the front lights kind of flickered because, you know, it acts like it wants to die.
Okay.
And so I have just beat my brain to figure out what it could be.
I gotcha.
But it's funny because it's only when I start it runs just fine all day long. That's what she's doing right now.
Okay.
I put a new throttle body, the whole throttle body on with the sensor, whatnot. I put a new alternator on because my alternator went bad.
So
I'm not sure where else to do.
So your question to me is, what could be causing this? Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Did anybody check the timing marks?
Nobody's checked the timing mark.
Okay. So did anybody check the timing chain?
No, nobody's checked the timing chain.
Okay. And you said the solenoid was replaced, the variable valve timing solenoid?
Correct.
Okay.
I changed them both twice.
Okay.
Because I thought it was faulty.
So this does have actuators, you know, or phasers that are on the camshaft that could be going bad, causing this, which is common, and or we could have a timing issue. Timing chain could be loose, stretched, or maybe it has jumped.
Yeah.
So if nobody has gone after the timing chain, that would be the very first thing to rule out first. And then if that checks out good, I would replace that phaser.
Can I ask a quick question about that?
Yes.
If you don't hear, I don't hear anything out of the ordinary. You know, usually you can hear grinding or something with the timing chain. That's why I wasn't really wanting to get into the timing chain deal, because I didn't think that it didn't sound like it. And I've had a lot of people listen to it and say, you know, I do this first and then.
So unfortunately, that's not a good that's not a good way to diagnose the timing chain.
But okay, whenever I put it on the machine, I have one in the car. Okay, so when I put it on the machine, it says something about it's not plausible, so I can't figure out what the problem is, I guess.
So it says what's not plausible?
The crankshaft sensor, I can't remember how that goes. I don't have it with me right this second.
Okay.
But it's like the camshaft sensor not plausible with the crankshaft sensor, whatever.
Does it say something along the lines of a correlation?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it's a cam and crank correlation code. What it's telling you is that the camshaft and the crankshaft aren't aligned with each other, which could be a timing chain.
All right. Now, can I ask another question?
Yeah.
Could that be the whole business of it not wanting the RPMs and everything messing up?
Yes. But this is what it says. Let me read this to you. This is what it says. So 2016 Equinox 2.4 P0017, and there are 4 steps. Let me read this to you. With the number 1 piston at top dead center on the exhaust stroke, check for marks on both the intake and exhaust camshaft position actuators. The exhaust should be at 1030 and the intake should be at 130. count the number of links between the marks, including the links at the marks. There should be 16 links. There should be an equal number of links between the marks on the actuators and at the end of the upper guide. Correct the timing chain as needed if incorrect, and check for a slipped reluctor and exhaust camshaft. See document. So there's actually a factory technical service bulletin that was released for this problem by GM. The TSB is PIP 4548F as in Frank.
Okay, so is there a recall on that then?
Nope. Recalls are different than TSBs.
Yeah. The actuators inside of the timing chain,
Cover, yep.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. So if you were going to take and check all of that, and then can you just replace the actuator that's in there?
The phaser is you can remove it from the camshaft and replace it separately.
Okay. And then I can see if everything looks good inside there, right?
That's correct, yeah. I wouldn't replace the phaser until you've checked that timing chain and checked the marks, because you don't want to replace the phaser. I suppose you got to probably pull the chain off anyway, but if you're going to do that, you might as well just replace the chain and all the components inside there at the same time.
So it's supposed to be 16 marks?
That's correct, yep. Count the number of links between the marks, including the links at the marks themselves. There should be 16 links.
I was thinking, I've kind of been going down the list here. I thought, well, maybe it could be an air leak, making that RPM going up.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, maybe there was a connection bad on the battery, the ground.